Welcome back to Glacial Awakening, and yes, it's time to get to Astral Sorcery. So I built this wonderful multi-block structure here. Ignore the spiky things on top of the pillars, and in the middle they are just lights. I'll show you what they are in a minute, but everything else is pretty much necessary aside from the light wall there. That's just optional, and of course you can find this in your Astral Sorcery book. So let's get started with that, shall we? So we've got this structure here. It's got sooty marble there. It's got bricks, marble bricks that is, around the outside. And the outside of that is marble arch, and then we've got these two pillar blocks and then a chisel marble on top. Know that just underneath this is another chisel marble block just underneath that. Otherwise, it's as straightforward as you see it, and looks pretty good. I'll just actually pop down here, and you'll see what I mean. Yep, see, another chisel marble right there. So that's pretty good. And we've got these in my hand. I'll show you what those are in a minute. But Slivers of Light, in fact, I'll tell you what they are now. Slivers of Light, remember the sort of approach we have over here. Where are you? Down there where we've got the farm for getting our mysterious dust. Well, you know we have these crystals next door to it. If you take those crystals, let's say this one, and you go and bash them against some rock, because, hey, why wouldn't you? They give off Slivers of Light. And Slivers of Light are basically torches. And they happen to be, I think they're a little bit better than torches. And they're also just basically handier. You can attach them to ceilings. So I did that inside and tidied everything up. I'll show you in a minute. So out here, we've got to get everything else sorted. To do that, we're going to need another rock crystal. Now, by all means, you can go and grow the one we already have. If you want to grow rock crystals, just drop them into pools of starlight, like this. And just drop them. They don't despawn, so you can leave them alone. However, I went and got some more from near bedrock level. I went around at nighttime, found another spot, and went and go and extracted it. So in here then we should be able to go and make our upgraded altar, I think. Let's have a look in the quest. Starlight crafting altar. So yeah, this is the recipe. So we need a liquid starlight bucket, which I already have one of right there. So we can generate more whenever we need to if I give up some aquamarine. And the rest is going to be just pillar blocks, isn't it? So if I just put in this for a second, and I got pillar blocks like that, and we want a rock crystal at the top, and then 2 chisel marble. Was that everything? Ah, it has a memory. Good. Wrong one. Is that the right way around? I think that's the right way around. And do I just have to hit this with the resonating wand? No? Maybe I've got that wrong. Let's just check in the Astral Tome, and I figure out where exactly that is. Hover over one of the clusters and scroll in using the mouse wheel. Yeah, I wish it homed at the same time, but it doesn't always do that. So in here we've got this one, Starlight Crafting Altar. So yeah, that's the right thing. That's the right thing, yeah. Starlight focusing abilities of Luminous Crafting Table and addition of Starlight Reservoir make it a significant upgrade. That can be improved upon. Large Starlight Collection Culture made for the air. That's fine. Should be valid. This is our structure right here. And there we go. So yeah, why are you not working? I've got everything I need, I think. Nothing was wrong. Just had to wait for nighttime for the starlight to build up in the gauge in the bottom. Right here you see. And that's now creating our upgraded table. That won't take it very long at all. Whoops. There. If I don't fall off and it's nighttime, that's not good. Might be some creatures around fairly soon. And there we go. We got the upgraded table. So yeah, that we learn more about attunement. So I think we'll get an expanded area in our Astral Tome. Yeah, we get a new attunement section. And that's over here with lots and lots of stuff. So yeah, that's a whole other set of stuff if you want to actually create that. But I'm not going to worry about it right now because there's lots of creatures and I need to get inside. Mr. Butter 19 and another Al132. Honestly, the Headcrumbs mod has been changed to only have a few different people. That's fine. Down here we've got a couple of other things I wanted to mention. First of all, these are radiant tanks, just like the radiant storage system we have inside. They are pretty handy. They do have a similar mechanic. Remember how the natural altar... Oh, that's a creeper. I don't want to go near you. Remember how we could teleport stuff from our natural altar to the chest in here? We can do the same thing with the quantum tanks, except that it's not quite the same. You can't go between 2 blocks. You go between an item that you have in your inventory and the tank. So I'll show you how that works. It's straightforward to craft anyway. It's just another one of the recipes in here. gem cutters table. So you'll see there's various bits and pieces. We need one of those, Radiant Amphora. That's the item that you can use to pick up any liquid and teleport it into the tank. And you'll need one of these containment fields and a couple of bits and pieces, but then you'll be able to make a radiant tank, or it'll give you 4 of them actually. That's why there's a few outside. So with the radiant tank on the other hand, and I've upgraded this gold satchel, you just wrap it in iron, then wrap it in gold, and you end up with a bit more space. I've already made one of these radiant amphoras. So if we just go out here for a second, and I will show you that in action. So if we just get our mysterious dust block, and we do the same thing as usual. You have to link it to a particular tank first, so I'm going to shift right click on that, and then we can watch that go, and then we just right click it, and it goes into there. Don't believe me? Well, let's just connect to this tank instead. There's nothing in that right now. It says 0 millibuckets. Oh, there's nothing in it, you can see. And once this changes, we should be able to absorb it into the tank. Come on, it's just going to take too long. It's one of those things, whenever you're watching a kettle to boil, it just won't boil. So come on, I know you want to change to liquid. Anyway, I'll start explaining something else and it'll change. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you'll see it has actually given you a layer of liquid. It's only a very small layer, but they do hold quite a bit. So you can just add them to your tanks, and we can grab them out there and put them in this one and keep everything sort of the way it is. Nicely stacked even, and then you can just use that up by basically crafting cores. Now I went and made some, oh god, oh, whoa, go away. I don't want to have to rebuild this thing again. Go away. Okay. Normally I don't hear the creepers until they're about 2 feet away from me. I need a bow. I need to make a bow. Anyway, I did more crafting using these. Basically destroy them, get the upgraded versions, use them to make more core grafts, and those were used to get gold. So I've got iron, gold, etc. And let's go and have an explore inside. So the only other thing I actually made between the episodes was a bit more Magneticraft. It's not one of the quests, so I don't want to show it on camera because you've seen me make these Magneticraft machines now. It's identical, other than the fact that this is a big electric furnace. So I took out my manual furnaces, and this one here is built for automation, but it works perfectly well as a manual furnace as well, with a bit of changes in that it will output onto another conveyor belt at the back like this. So you need to put a chest in front of it, and then underneath I just have hoppers going back to here. So anything I put into there comes out into this box, just like the other machines, and this works pretty well. The only difference is that this thing has only a certain amount of joules stored in it. So if I dump a lot of cobblestone, it's very fast at the start, but eventually its internal battery will start depleting. Its internal amount of energy will start depleting, and this will start dropping down. It may, well, I probably didn't throw enough stuff at it. When it gets to about half a stack, it starts depleting, but that's much faster than the other furnaces, so I don't have a problem with those. And then I also crafted these radiant crafting tables, which have a memory in them, so you can store a few different recipes, but they have none of these buttons, which I really like, particularly the spread and balance grid options. Very much like those. Otherwise, I just tidied up and put the sliver of light on the ceiling, and everything looks a little bit neater. We've still got torches in the floor, in the corridors, but otherwise that's looking a lot better. And I've tidied up the floor, etc. And I'll start to remove some of this limestone as well, so the floor gets a bit more consistent. Anyway, that's the start of this. And why? We're going to need to go and pick up that starlight altar, aren't we, to get to the next step? That's fine. And then the next step, I think, is going to be transforming. Yeah, it's going to be transforming using the Starlight Altar, I think. Let's just go and check it out. So let's go and pick this up. There we go. That's that quest done. And we have a lens. Is that new, or was that always there? Maybe that was always there. So yeah, this is part of the attunement section of the book. So since your knowledge of starlight hinders you from crafting a collector crystal, you must create a network to transmit the starlight from the altar to where you would like it. So fine, right click the collector crystal with a linking tool and right click a lens to create a connection. Continue making connections until your starlight beam is where you want it. So yeah, it says transmit the starlight from the altar to where you'd like. I'm not sure, I want it in different places at the moment, we'll have to see. But we need to make these first of all. Thankfully, they need pretty straightforward stuff, although that's engraved infused wood. Maybe we need to, well, that's fine. We just need to infuse. Oh no, we're going to need infusion. Yeah, we're going to need an infusion altar. And this is probably going to be the same thing again. Infuse wooden planks. Infuse wood. Ah, no, it's not. You just throw any wood in liquid starlight and you get infused wood out of it. But do you actually use that starlight up? That's worthwhile trying. Do I have any wood? Well, there's plenty of wood down there I haven't demolished yet. So let's just get my axe. Why don't I have my... Ah, there it is. Yep. And we'll just grab some of that. And let's see if this actually allows us to do it. So that's a log. So let's just grab 4. Okay, and let's see if this changes over. Now, was it wood or was it logs? Infused wood. It's the wood variety. Okay, that's fine. If I drop you all in, will you get used up? Nope. Good. That's easy. And then we can get planks from that and use those to make the rest. However, it will need an infusion altar. So Starlight Infuser, we need to make. And that needs this altar tier that we have. It needs a Celestial Altar. Celestial Altar needs this current altar, and then we need some other bits and pieces like Stardust and Star Metaling, which seems odd because the Star Metaling is next. So that really doesn't seem like that's the only way. Is there any way? Oh, hang on. We can make it. Yeah, we can make it here. Oh, that's much easier. So we just need some glass panes and an aquamarine, and we just need 3 aquamarines for this. So let me go and gather a few materials, and we'll get a little bit further into Astral Sorcery. Okay, it's just going to be nighttime, so this is one of the reasons why you might want to think about elevating this in the sky. If you've got a way up, that is. I don't, so I just put it on top of a hill. I've lit up the surrounding area with these little Slivers of Light, and yeah, unfortunately this mod pack, the mobs can see you quite far away, so it's kind of handy to have at least quite a bit of the area lit up, and maybe that will actually help stop mobs spawn whenever you actually need it. Regardless, it's approaching nighttime, and this is pretty much a night-based mod, the Astral Sorcery, so we do need to wait that long, and we just have to look in here. It's building up here. You can see this is the recipe for the lens, and it's going to need to get to this particular step here, which shouldn't take very long, and we'll then be able to craft. So we also need the linking tool in here as well. Slightly different recipe, but the same process is needed, and the same tier of altar. That's that fine. Then we're going to get to Star Metal. Now, Star Metal, well, Star Metal ore, we just need to smelt it. Where do we get Star Metal ore? It's a transmutation from iron ore. We know how to get lots of iron ore, don't we? After the last episode, anyway. So, yeah, and that implies that we're going to use the lens. So, yeah, interesting. So, yeah, let's get this going. I need to wait for just a few seconds. And there we go. We're just crossing the line, and we can now make the lens. So, let's change you. 1 lens, please. How fast are you going to be? I was hoping that would be faster. That's fine. Yeah, not much else I can really do while that's such a... Ah, there we go. Okay, so 2 lenses we get out of that, and then we just need the rest, so we just need the other recipe. That's going to need... okay, so that's relatively straightforward. Whoops. We just need 2 aquamarines. A rock crystal again, some sticks, and I think a couple of logs, and that's it. Yep. That should be ready right now. So that's going to get changed over, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, next step, you're going to want to go and head to where your temple was, the place where I robbed all the marble from up here. And you're going to want to head to the collect crystal that we found. Now, the quest text is a little bit odd. Let me just show you what it means. In here it says, basically, not in that one, in this one, since your knowledge of starlight hinders you from crafting collect crystal, you must create a network to transmit the starlight from the altar to where you would like. And then it talks about clicking on the collect crystal to a lens to make a connection, and then to wherever your starlight beam is where you want it. Basically, normally the collect crystals are used with lenses to transmit more starlight towards your altar. It's quite far away in our case, but in our case, this quest doesn't really want us to make that connection. Or we can do, but it's not. That's not really the point. The point is to get this to turn our iron ore into, well, starlight or whatever it's called, star metal ore. So let's just get some iron ore, which I have hopefully crafted, and we can just pop this down. Let's just say 4. Oops, 4. Okay, and then we should be able to use the linking crystal, I think. Yeah, and we should be able to link it to a block. And can we link it to multiple blocks? We can. There we go. And if we're going to do that, then we should also break this block and the block above it. There we go. Water's going to come down, but we can sort that out in a second. And we want to basically let that collector crystal see the sky, at least according to the wiki. Let's see how well this does. So I'm just going to put this block. It's going to have to be on top, isn't it? Yeah. Which means I'm going to have to build up there. Bear with me 1 second. Let's stand on here. Oh, don't get dragged sideways. There we go. That should solve the problem. And we'll give it complete clearance to the sky just by demolishing everything between it and the sky. There we go. I guess we can just demolish these as well. Give it a bigger area. But that should be fine. And I guess we're going to have to go up there. Fine, let's just go up there as well. And let's just break these through. I'm not sure if that's going to help at night time or anything, but this is by far enough to call us to help the issue. So pop back down, and then down there we're going to put in some more of our torch replacements. There we go. And we'll just put them on the walls or something. It's perfectly fine as is. Should be enough light from them to stop them causing issues. Our fox is still here. Fine. So I now need to wait a little while until they decide, yeah, you got access to the sky, until they decide to become star metal ore. And there we go. It's changed over. It looks quite nice. And we are just going to break those blocks. And I'll probably just put down a couple more. I don't think it's able to get to the bottom blocks, so I'm just going to break those out. And we can just restack them somewhere else where it can actually get to them. Anyway, I should do. Let's just put them there, like that. And then we can link to you, and to you. Yep, seems to be able to get to those. So now we just have to smelt these up. Oh, in fact, hang on, can we grind them? Manufactory, smelting, crusher. We can't yet. It doesn't look like we've got the machine to actually do it. We can't use it using the magnetic craft machine. That's unfortunate, because that's the only one we've actually got access to. That's fine. So we'll go and smelt those up. That should make us the last step in this, which will take us to the final quest for the simple machine chassis. This needs some steel. Iron bars are easy enough. So steel plates are going to be in the hydraulic press. Yeah, looks like we need a copper plate. Oh, sorry, just medium mode maybe. And steel goes straight into steel plates. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 steel, and then a basic capacitor, which is star metal ingot, which is exactly why we need that. And grains of infinity, which we haven't covered in this pack, but we have in other packs plenty of times. You just want to set bedrock alight with, flint and steel or fire maker, and it will have a chance to actually produce grains of infinity. And there are ways to automate that. I'll show you that another time. But for now, I'll just wait for these to transform and head for our smelter. And if you don't think this mod pack is trolling you, remember that the only place you get grains of infinity is by setting a fire on bedrock, to which the only blocks right next door to it are ice. Yes, which promptly melts and puts out your fire. This is about the minimum kind of size room you need, even with these kind of ancient barks or whatever blocks you put in the walls. It's not going to spread this fire. It's just that ice will start spontaneously melting if you get any closer than this. And you start to get grains of infinity, well, about half the time, I guess. It's not going to be, sometimes it just doesn't happen like that, and you need to get a few more. So that is probably enough to get one, and then we just need probably another grain of infinity in case we need to get another one, another capacitor, that is. Because that's what we're going to be building with this thing. So yeah. Oh, what is the point of that? Is that some kind of tracking? I don't know what that actually does, if anything. Anyway, there's our second one. Let's head upstairs, and I'll see you up there for final assembly. Okay, so let's pick up our, hopefully our smelted star metal ingot. Yeah, that should give me that quest. And still no rewards. Oh, such a shame. And this, we actually just need a few things. We need a star metal. We need some electrum, it looks like. Electrum nuggets. And let's just maybe, well, we'll just get one. Where's my electrum? There it is. And let's convert that into nuggets. So that's everything we need there. And then we just need one capacitor. So let's get one capacitor of the basic kind. There we go. And that should be enough to get us into this simple machine chassis. So we need 4 iron bars, a couple of steel plates. So let's get the steel first of all. I've got 8 of it, so we should have enough to basically stamp a couple. So let's just go for the medium. I thought it was copper plate. It's actually not. It's just the fact that that looks like copper plate. So never mind. That gets us to there. We've got the rest of the steel, so we just need some iron bars. Let's grab you. We've got 8 left. And see, I told you that looks like a steam hammer rather than a hydraulic press. I don't think a hydraulic press is supposed to hammer like that. It's supposed to just push down and keep on pushing until your square peg is through the round hole and anything else underneath. So capacitor we'll use to make a simple machine chassis. There we go, simple machine chassis. And there's chapter 3. So that's all done. Still no rewards, but the first 3 chapters done. That leads us 2 chapters, and someone's come up with a new... Oh, this is new. Yeah, this has been updated. So Time Master. Time Challenge. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. No, you can't bring that in after I've already done this. No, that's not. Okay. Chapter 4. Not that I'm subconsciously speeding up or anything, but chapter 4, you need to craft a meteorite. Oh, sorry, we get a meteorite compass and a basic capacitor bank, so that will be useful. Then we need to gather inscriber presses. Now, you know we've got one of them, but I would need to gather the others. And then in a few other directions, we've got the mystical ore puller, which we can now make. That's made with that simple machine chassis, and this starts to generate ores for us. So we've got some anti-gravity blocks and gravity blocks, steel block, which I need to make more steel clearly, and some soul steel. And I think I've got a little bit left of all of that. The mystical ore puller is part of a huge multi-block, so it's not just that on its own. It's quite large, so we need to actually craft that. Manufactory, it's used for all kinds of different things. It's basically a grinder. It's got flint in it, copper solenoid. So yeah, there's plenty of other stuff to look forward to, it seems, on that route. Alloy furnace, well, I guess that just brings us to a smaller alloy furnace than what we've got over there. That, again, is the same materials, but basic plating, which is lead and graphite. Graphite we haven't been able to make until now, and in fact we need that manufactory to do so. It breaks down carbon dust, and presumably that's going to come from coal. Yep, also from the manufactory. So, yep, there's plenty of other stuff to get that way. And then electric connectors, yeah, that's going to be straightforward. I think that's convert magnetic craft into RF by connecting one electric connector to each block and then connect them with a copper coil. Yeah, I did actually want to just raise one other item. I'd set up the thingies wrong, the thermopiles, according to a commenter. A commenter did say you're supposed to put the hot block and the cold block directly opposite each other. What I decided did was have them at like 90 degrees to each other. So if I just pop back here somewhere, I have... Yeah, it's going this way. So I have another block in here, and you'll see the two cold blocks are opposite each other, and they need to be apparently in a different direction. So if I just get this one, oh, that's annoying. Okay, let's get this one up, and then we'll put the heavy snow black, and get this one up. Okay, and then we can just put, oh, that's shared. That's going to be annoying. I need some more lava. Clearly need some more lava. I'll go and fix that later, but essentially I'll need to put, in fact, I'll just leave the heavy snow block here and have it opposite. Now, I think there is packed ice as well, which is presumably colder. And can we make that? We can make it with salt and regular ice. Or we can just get regular ice and put it in the hydraulic press. And regular ice, can we actually make it in the freezer? Well, a water bottle will do it, apparently. Is there any other way to do it? Any other easier way than go making bottles? Bottle seems easy enough. We can go and just make some glass bottles and get some ice and then turn it into packed ice to actually get them as cold as possible. But for now, that will do. And you are 2502 heat flux per tick. And what's this one? This one's also set up incorrectly. 4003. So I'm just going to get one other block of lava and we'll see what this actually generates as far as its heat units are concerned, and see if we can improve that a little bit. So I set them up with the hot and cold side opposite each other. Didn't make a difference. Sorry, commenter. This one seems to produce as many watts as this one. So 8 watts, 8 watts. So, and they both have heat flux per tick identically. So it doesn't seem to matter which way around they are. However, let's give the other theory a test, or the hypothesis a test, because it's always good to test things, remember, kids? Let's just get you, and let's just try packed ice. Will you actually be any better? Packed ice is much better. Look at that. So now it's a 6k heat flux per tick for each one of these things, and of course packed ice doesn't tend to melt on you, so that is good. We'll call that good there, I think. So we'll just block those back in, and then all I need to do is make a little bit more packed ice for this side, and then that'll generate a little bit more power for us, and that'll be, well, let's call that good. So yeah, I'll close that in off camera between the episodes. So we've improved our thermopiles. We've also got into chapter 3. This is going to head into next episode. I think between the episodes, I'm going to go and gather those in scriber presses if I can find them all. There's one around somewhere in one of these chests. Almost sure I gathered it. Well, not accidentally, but I did find it out there. Is it my backpack? No. I will find it anyway. But I'll just use that Meteorite Compass. Straightforward to use the thing. You basically just hold it in your hand and it will point towards the nearest meteorite. Of course, that is probably the one that we already scavenged over that direction. So you may want to head into another direction and it should point its way towards it. So yeah, lots of exploring to do. So I'll leave it there for this episode. We've accomplished all of chapter 3 now. We're into chapter 4 and we now have some kind of time pressure. I'm sure you people who got notice about this did get, well, probably have a better chance of me than getting it, because I didn't know that even existed. And hopefully that's not including all of these as well, but hey, who knows. So chapter 4 is looking like it's about as big as chapter 3. A lot of it's going to be Ender IO based progress, A2 at the bottom, and as I've said before, Industrial Foregoing is the name of the mod for that one, I think. So yeah, lots of stuff to get through. We'll do a lot, as much as I can next episode of this, and get through that. So hopefully you join me for that. In the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to subscribe, share as you normally would. Click on the bell for notifications. But more importantly of all, share tips and tricks, particularly if there's anything new from Astral Sorcery we can use to become even more overpowered. One thing I will say is that a lot of the stuff we've been doing manually right now, there is some stuff coming up called, it's from Actually Editions. Actually, when I get that spelling right, actually. Stuff like the auto breaker, here we are, the auto breaker, auto placer, automatic, well, precision dropper, not so much, but then there's a fluid placer and a fluid collector. So they need stuff that we've only just got to. Auto breaker, in fact, we've not even got to the atomic reconstructor yet, but once we get to that, you'll realize we need industrial machine chassis, which we're just about to get to. We've got simple machine chassis. We just need advanced plating, tungsten plate, and plastic. So there's all the rest around. We've got the central ingredient, but not the rest yet. So yeah, that's other stuff to get done. Once we get to those, we'll be able to pull stuff like lava from underneath those solar concentrators, stuff like the liquid souls, whatever they're called, from again under that solar concentrator, and we'll be able to place blocks down in their place using the auto placer. So yeah, lots of stuff that we can do to automate things later on, but we have to get into that tech side of the pack. Anyway, see you next time. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.